And behold, 2 of them went out on the same day to a town named Emmaus, which was the distance of 60 stadia from Jerusalem. And they spoke to one another about all of these things that had occurred. And it happened that while they were speculating and questioning within themselves, Jesus himself, drawing near, travelled with them. But their eyes were restrained so that they would not recognize him. And he said to them, "What are these words which you are discussing with one another, as you walk and are sad?" And one of them, whose name was Cleopas, responded by saying to him, "Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who does not know the things that have happened there in these days?" And he said to them, "What things?" And they said, "About Jesus of Nazareth, who was a noble prophet, powerful in works and in words, before God and all the people, and how our high priests and leaders handed him over to be condemned to death, and they crucified him. But we were hoping that he would be the Redeemer of Israel. And now, on top of all this, today is the 3rd day since these things have happened. Then too, certain women from among us terrified us, for before daytime they were at the tomb, and having not found his body, they returned, saying that they had even seen a vision of angels, who said that he is alive. And some of us went out to the tomb, and they found it just as the woman had said, but truly they did not find him." And he said to them, "How foolish and reluctant in heart you are to believe everything that has been spoken by the prophets. Was not the Christ required to suffer these things and so enter into his glory?" And beginning from Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted for them in all the scriptures the things that were about him. And they drew near to the town where they were going, and he conducted himself so as to go on further. But they were insistent with him, saying, "Remain with us, because it is toward evening, and now daylight is declining." And so he entered with them. And it happened that while he was at table with them, he took bread, and he blessed and broke it, and he extended it to them, and their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. And they said to one another, "Was not our heart burning within us while he was speaking on the way, and when he opened the scriptures to us?" And rising up at that same hour, they returned to Jerusalem, and they found the 11 gathered together, and those who were with them, saying, "In truth, the Lord has risen, and he has appeared to Simon." And they explained the things that were done on the way, and how they had recognized him at the breaking of the bread. Pope St. Gregory the Great says, "He refrained from manifesting to them a form which they might recognize, doing outwardly in the eyes of the body that which was done by themselves inwardly in the eyes of the mind. For they in themselves inwardly both loved and doubted. Therefore, because they talked of him, he exhibited his presence, but because they had doubts about him, he concealed the appearance which they knew." According to St. Theophylact, they expected that Christ would redeem Israel from the Roman slavery. They trusted also that he was an earthly king, whom they thought would be able to escape the sentence of death passed upon him. And the Venerable Bede says, "Reason had they then for sorrow, because in some way they blamed themselves for having hoped for redemption in him whom now they saw dead, and believed not that he would rise again. And most of all, they bewailed him put to death without a cause, whom they knew to be innocent." And Pope St. Gregory says this, "And he went in with them. They lay out a table, they bring food, and God whom they had not recognized in the expounding of scriptures, they recognized in the breaking of bread, and their eyes were opened, and they knew him." And St. Theophylact reminds us that he also implies another thing, that the eyes of those who receive the sacred bread are opened, that they should know Christ, for the Lord's flesh has in it a great and ineffable power. For more commentaries like these, and to learn more about the lives of the Fathers, come and join us at journeywiththefathers.com.